17m2 garden. Hope that you're doing well. In today's video, I want to give you a little tour of the balcony. I want to show you how the things are looking mid-February, because there's quite a lot of things happening already, even though it's still very cold outside. And I really enjoy those balcony tours or garden tours that people do monthly, and I really enjoy watching other gardeners and seeing their gardens like change and progress throughout the seasons, throughout the months. So I thought that you may as well enjoy seeing my balcony and how the things are looking right now. And if you do enjoy this video, I can do like a monthly tours or even seasonal tours to show you the things just as they are right now, what is looking good and what is looking bad, and you know, talk maybe about some issues that I'm facing in the moment, and all things like that. So let's hop on the balcony and I'm gonna show you how the things are looking. Okay, so let's start with this back corner. I mostly store here all the dormant plants, like the hydrangeas that are just waking up. You see all of those fresh leaves coming, and the other one as well is here. These are both macrophyllus. You see all of those pansies in here that I have just transferred from these pots. Let me turn around. All the pansies were planted all along here, but because I planted so many spring bulbs in those pots, I planted like 50 crocus and 10 daffodils, so that's a total of 60 bulbs. So I decided to just pull them out and to place them in different places. I planted some in here as well. So moving forward, I have some foxgloves and I have 3 fruit bushes. I recently bought this blueberry. It's a pink variety called pink lemonade. Some white currants, variety is called blanca, and some like classic blueberries. These ones are Brigitta blue. So I do grow some edibles on my balcony, but because I garden in part shade and shade, there is not much that grows in part shade. Most plants, most fruits and vegetables prefer full sun location. You know, when they receive a lot of sun, they can ripen and they can grow healthy. But there are some plants that tolerate part shade. For example, like my alpine strawberries. I grow them since many years, and they just produce like crazy, and they are super yummy. I grow some lettuce, some radishes and stuff like that. This year I also wanted to try more fruit production. Then I actually learned during my studies that blueberries grow very well in part shade, as well as white currants. Also, I could grow gooseberries, but I forgot to buy them, and I think that I don't really have a place for much more. Like, I don't want to place like tons of pots. I mean, I already have a lot of pots, so I don't really want to add more. So yeah, I decided to pick these 3 ones, and I will show you how I plant them in a video, because a few people asked me on Instagram if I could show how I'm planting them, and I will, but not just yet. So once I do it, I will definitely share it with you. So moving forward, in this area I want to create like galvanized container temmed spring display. So I planted a bunch of daffodils in here. Here are actually daffodils that I grow since many years on my balcony, and they come back every year. And some little crocus, and they start to bloom slowly. You have first blooms appearing. Some little composition that is planted on top of lilies, so summer flowering bulbs. More spring bulbs, and yeah, don't even ask. So it's a very sad looking eucalyptus. I do realize that. It was a little bit more full, but I decided to prune it to hopefully encourage more branching so that it gets more bushy. It doesn't grow very well because it's a full sun plant, and I grow it in part shade, so it's not as vigorous as it should. But I'm hoping that because I pruned it, it's gonna produce new shoots and it's gonna get more bushy. So it's looking pretty bold at the moment, but yeah, I'm hoping that what I did was right. You can definitely prune your eucalyptus to keep the juvenile foliage, because the juvenile, so the young foliage, is very nice and rounded, and when they mature they get more like oblong shape, which is not bad, but most people prefer to keep them in like their young state, so that you can prune it. You can even cut it all the way back, like to coppice it all the way down here because I do want to have some height on the balcony, so I didn't cut it completely down, so I just pruned it a little. And all the branches that I pruned, I gathered them in here, so I'm gonna bring them inside and use them in some vase, you know, as a composition, decoration, whatever. Previous area with bulbs, I want to keep it yellow and blue, and this one I want to keep it more warm toned, so I have the pinks and peachy colors in here, and a beautiful red Japanese maple Acer garnet, beautiful hellebore, some Gualteria berries. So here I should actually remove the protection from underneath the geraniums. I don't protect them for winter, but I do provide them with just a little bit underneath so that they are not standing on the very cold concrete floor. So as I said, I don't really protect my pelargoniums for winter. I know that they are not winter hardy, but I've been growing them for years now, and they always spend winter on the balcony, and it's like -5, sometimes -7 degrees Celsius, and they survive through frost, through snow, through really a lot, because they keep growing during winter, but I'm not fertilizing them, so they get a little bit chlorotic, like they get a little bit yellow. So just recently I started to give them some fertilizer to boost them, because now as that spring is just around the corner, they will really need that. And here is the little area that's there's literally everything and nothing. I have bay leaf tree, some carex grass, some bulbs, some climbing vine, which is a honeysuckle. It blooms beautifully in orange in early spring. Mid-spring. I'm not sure if you've seen my video about what was it called, 10 winter hardy plants to brighten up your balcony in winter. I featured this euonymus, and I said that it has euonymus scale, which are like white little insects that eat the foliage. And I said that I'm not gonna spray it with anything, that I'm not gonna really do anything right now, because there is really no need. It's not because you see some pests in your garden that it requires your immediate reaction and that you should nuke them with a pesticide. Plus, I don't really use pesticides, so I did nothing. So the population of euonymus scale, they have like 2 generations during the year, one in spring and one in fall. So now that we enter in spring, I will keep an eye on it, and if I see that there start to be really a lot of them and they start to really pose a problem, and the overall health and growth of the plant is, let's say, in danger, then I will start to consider some action. But as you can see, even though it has a scale, it's looking really amazing. The white little insects, you can see them more on these older leaves. That's a euonymus scale. But you see, it's not because there is a scale that the plant is gonna die and that you have to do something. Sometimes it's okay, you know, you don't have to take action every single time you see something. Okay. Turning around, here is a little corner. I'm gonna make it into like a woodland corner. This Acer Orange Dream, I think that's the variety of Acer. It's beautiful yellow leaves in spring, turning green and then orange in fall. And I have some woodland kind of plants. There's some hellebore, there will be delphiniums, some heucheras, some tiarella, some hostas that are dormant. Hellebore looking great. There are aphids on it. Let me turn around and show you. It seems that slugs also got into it. There are aphids hidden inside of that bud. Can you see it? But as well, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm gonna make one video dedicated to pests sometime in spring. But I just wanted to show you kind of that there are pests in my garden, and that there is plenty of them actually everywhere. There are aphids, there is a scale, there are wine weevil grubs, actually my heucheras. So it's been since past fall, since this fall, that I deal with wine weevil grubs. Wine weevil grubs, there are little grubs that eat the roots of your plant, and they seem to really enjoy my heucheras. I've lost 2 heucheras out of 7. But I was able to save 5, which is great. So how I deal with wine weevil grubs, I apply parasitic nematode, which is called Steinernema krauseyi. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So you apply this parasitic nematode, you mix it in with water, and you water on to your plants, and it is a natural parasite that will It's a natural parasite that will paralyze, that will enter the body of the grubs and will paralyze them and they will die. It's a biological control, so it's very safe to use for humans. It doesn't impact negatively the environment, and it only acts on the wine weevil grub, so that's great, and that's what I prefer when I face an issue in my garden. But as I said, I'm gonna talk more specifically about pests a little bit later, because I'm sure that many of you will be interested in learning more about how to deal with pests naturally. I hope that you enjoyed this little tour of my balcony, of checking some updates and to see some projects. And if you enjoyed it, do let me know if that's something that you would like to see more often, maybe monthly, maybe seasonally. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next video.